Hello everyone, this is Simple Math for you. Our lesson today is Solving One-Step Inequalities Part 1. أهلا بكم من جديد في قناتكم Simple Math for you، ودرسنا اليوم هو حل المتباينات بخطوة واحدة. الجزء الأول. Let's learn graphing inequalities. First, what is the meaning of inequality? ما معنى inequality? The inequality is المتباينة. When a number is not equal to the other number, then it can be either greater than that number or greater than or equal to that number. إذا رقمين مش متساويين ممكن يكون ال A أكبر من ال B أو أكبر من أو يساوي B, or it can be A less than B أصغر من ال B, or A less than or equal to B أصغر من أو يساوي B. إذن عندنا الاحتمالات كلها في حالة عدم وجود تساوي. So it's not an equation, it's called an inequality. In solving the inequality, we will use the same techniques almost, with some differences in multiplication and division. So we will start solving now. Solve each inequality. Graph your solution on a number line. Let's start solving. نبدأ بحل المتباينات. Number 1. X minus 4 less than 3. So when we were solving equations, لما كنا نحل المعادلات, we were keeping the variable on one side. كنا نخلي الفاريبل أو المتغير في جهة واحدة. And we will do the same thing now. سنفعل نفس الشيء. Then what shall I do? I'll add 4 to both sides. Or in other words, as we get used to equation, take this to the other side, reversing the sign. So X is less than 3 plus 4. X less than 7. X less than 7. X less than 7 on the number line, it can be shown as, if you have number line and this is number 7, X less than 7 means all numbers that are less than 7. That means it will be to the left of number 7, but not including 7. So we will show that with open circle, and we will mark all the interval below the 7. كل اللي أسفل أو إلى أيسر إلى يسار رقم 7, but open circle, دائرة مفتوحة عشان 7 مش معانا لأنها أقل من 7. So less than 7, it can be 6.999999, 6, 5, 4, negative numbers, even 0, whatever. So X less than 7. So remember, when it's less than only or more than only, we will show that on the number line with open circle, دائرة مفتوحة إذا كان ما في equal. Let's see number 2. P minus 7 more than or equal to 3. We will do the same thing. We will add 7 to both sides. So B is more than or equal to 10. So here is our 10. Now we will close the circle. Greater than or equal means to the right, everything more than or equal to the 10. So all these numbers are included. Here we want T alone. Remember, we want T. So let's do what we learned before. We will add 30 to both sides or take the negative 30 to the other side. It becomes positive 30. So now 10 more than or equal to T. Now in the equation, when we were writing 10 equals to T or T equals to 10, it was the same, no differences. But now if you want to switch, then switch the inequality. So this will be T less than or equal to 10, because now the 10 is the number more than or equal to 10. So in this case, swap both of them. T is less than or equal to 10, and that means we will go to 10 and close the circle, and now all the numbers below or to the left of 10. Now we will move to multiplication and division, and we have the same story as before, except when you multiply or divide by a negative number. Now, if you want C alone here, as we learned in the equation, مثل ما تعلمنا بالمعادلات, we will divide both sides by 3. So C is less than or equal to 8. That means you go to 8, close the circle, and everything below the 8 is included to us. Here we have a fraction. Remember, we were multiplying by the reciprocal, مقلوب العدد. So here you need to multiply this side by -4/1, which is -4, to get rid of the 4. And here you are multiplying by -4/1. Now we end up with B alone, but we are multiplying by a negative number. When you multiply by a negative number, then you will switch this sign. And now 5 times -4 is -20. And this is -20. Close the circle and everything will be to the right. It's more than or equal to 20. Let's see why we are flipping the sign of the inequality. For example, everyone knows that 2 is less than 5. 2 is less than 5. Let's multiply both sides by -1. Now this becomes -2 and this becomes -5. Now, which one is more, -2 or -5? Everyone knows that -2 is more than -5. And this explains why in division and multiplication, we switch the sign if you multiply by negative number. Even when you divide by a negative number, you will flip the sign of inequality. تعكس إشارة المتباينة لما تقسم أو تضرب في عدد سالب. Let's see here. We want the y alone, and as we learned in the equation مثل ما تعلمنا في المعادلات, try to get rid of the denominator. نتخلص من denominator. So we will multiply by negative number, which is the -3 in our case. Remember, this will switch. And -3 will cancel the -3. Now we end up with y here. Now, -3 times -70 is positive 210. Remember, if you want to start by the y, then switch. So y is more than 210. Because you can read it from this side, y more than 210. You can do the same thing, but we get used to the variable at the beginning. And we will put the 210 here. We open the circle and we will shade the region to the right. على يمين النقطة 210. على يمين العدد. Now we have here 3 over 4k less than -12. I have written it. عدت كتابتها. هلا we want to multiply by the reciprocal. مقلوب العدد للجهتين. Are we multiplying by a negative number? No, this is positive number. So we get rid of the fraction. We have k alone, and I will not switch the sign because I'm multiplying by a positive number, even if I'm multiplying a negative number by the positive number here, because already I am multiplying by a positive number. بعدد موجب أنا ضربت فأنا ما بقلب الإشارة. So now I will multiply that. -12 by 4, -48 over 3 is -16. So now we have the -16. Open circle because there is no equal sign here. And I will shade the region below to the left. Less, left. Remember, less left. They are similar to each other. Now we have the variable on both sides. And as we learned as well, we will take the variables together. You are free to choose which side you are working with, but I will shift this to this side just to show you something. So W minus 2W is greater than or equal to 5. I have switched the sign when I move from side to another side. Now 1W minus 2W is negative W more than or equal to 5. I need W. So I will divide by negative 1. It will be W, and I will switch the sign of the inequality, and it will be less than or equal to minus 5 or negative 5. Close circle at negative 5 and to the left. Similar situation here. We have 3y, and I will take the 2y. I will keep the 8 to the other side. 3y minus 2y is 1y. More than or equal to 8 is very easy and very straightforward. I will put the 8 with a closed circle, دائرة مغلقة, لأن في يساوي, and I will shade the region to the right. Now, this is the summary of the inequality. If you add or subtract any number to the inequality, it will not affect the sign, no switching. Even if you add positive number or negative number, subtracting positive number or negative number, it will have no effect. Now, if you multiply or divide both sides of inequality by a positive number, it will remain the same, no change. But if you divide or multiply by a negative number, then you need to switch the sign of the inequality. If it was greater than, it becomes less than. And if or greater than or equal, less than or equal. And everything will be switched back as well. Thank you. See you in part 2. إلى اللقاء.